She's been back Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. All right. All right, guys. If you're not done, that's fine. Just stop where you're at, and let's go over these. See if you have any questions. Okay. What's my first step in number one? What do I have to get rid of? That parenthesis, right? What do I do? I'm raising a power to a power, Mace. What do I do?
Negative 3 times 2.
Multiply it. What do you get?
Negative 9.
Nah. You're not squaring 3. It's just negative 3 times 2.
6.
What kind?
Negative 6.
Okay, so this is what we have. Okay, now what do I do? You're multiplying two like bases together. What do you do with the exponents? Add them together. Okay, what's negative 6 plus 8, guys? Second, so what's my answer, Gavin?
8 to the second. I meant x to the second.
X squared. That's it, right there. Okay? All right, somebody help me with 2. Go ahead. Reese, go ahead. What can I cross out? Z to the 0, right? I don't need that. It's gone. Okay, what do I need to get rid of? I got to get rid of that negative 2, and it belongs to the x. So what do I do with it? Put it on the bottom. So what's on the top?
4x.
No. X is down at the bottom.
4.
Y to the 5th. Okay? That's it right there. All right? Now, what do we have to do? What do I have to do with number 3? What is getting cubed? Or what goes to the third power here? What do you think? Diane, what do you think? So 3 gets cubed. Okay? Times what? X squared gets what? Cubed, and y to the first gets cubed. That's the way you got to think of it right there. Everything gets cubed. All right? So simplify that. If you haven't done it, take 10 seconds and do it. Okay, what's 3 cubed, guys? It's not 3 times 3. It's 3 times 3 times 3. What's my x value? Guys, we multiply. What's 1 times 3? There's my answer right there. Okay, now, everything in number 4. How many terms do I have in the numerator? How many terms? 2, right? Everything gets what? Raised to the second power. How many terms in the denominator? It get raised to the second power. It get raised, okay? So I have this. That's the way you got to look at it right there. Everything gets squared. Alex, help me out. What's negative 5 squared? Closer. What's negative times negative? Yeah, it's 25. It's positive. Yep. Okay, what about the x term? X term. Darren, what do you think? I'm raising a power to a power. What do I do? What do we do? We multiply. So what do you got? X to the what? X to the 8th. Now, what about on the bottom here? What's negative 2 raised to the second power? What is it, Juan? You're multiplying, brother. Wouldn't it be y to the what? Y to the negative 4? What do I do with that? Where does it need to go? It's in the bottom with a y to the negative 4. Where does it need to go? So what do I write?
25x
Y to the 4th. It has to go up top to lose the negative. Jeff, what's your question?
Where'd you get the 25
What's negative 5 squared?
from?
Negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25.
Okay.
Yeah? How'd we do on that? So? Do you see how everything gets raised to the power in the parenthesis? That's all we got to do. Okay? What'd you guys do here?
I had to do 10 through 18?
Oh, these are the problems we had to do right here, right?
Yep.
Okay. Did you have the homework written out, D? Or we're just going to go over it?
Just gonna go over.
Okay. Guys, everybody, what's this? Is everybody good with that? Anything to the 0 power is 1. Don't miss those. That's like a free one. Okay. What can you cross out in number 12? Ellie? Yeah, it goes away. What do I got to do with c to the negative 8, Ellie? Put it where? Got to put it in the basement. It's not happy up top. So what do I write?
Oh wait, yeah. 15.
15's on top. What's on the bottom?
C.
C to the 8th. Guys, the negative 8's not with the 15. It's just with the C. Okay? Does that make sense? 15 stays up top. All right. What can I cross out in 14, guys? 10 to the 0 goes what? Goes to 1. Okay? What is the only thing that's unhappy in this one? Yeah, go ahead. The R to the negative 11. It's unhappy. Where's it need to go? Okay. What are you going to write? Okay, first of all, is 3 squared okay downstairs? Okay, what's 3 squared, everybody? 9. Okay, so what do I write down there? R to the what? I move it down there, it becomes happy. Goes to positive 11. Okay? And then what's on top? Do I write 1? What do you write, 1?
S.
Just S. Okay, the S is happy, it stays up top. Okay? Okay, everybody look at 16. What do you notice about 16, guys? What do all the variables have there? And the number 7. They all have a what attached to them? Exponent, that is negative. So everything there has to do what, Austin? Everything there has to what? Mighty. Everything has to switch location. So what are you going to write, Austin? Where's the P to the negative 8 go?
Below.
So what do I write?
P8.
P to the 8th. What goes on top?
Q to the 9th.
Okay. Q to the 9th. What else?
7 to the second power.
Which is what?
Goes on top.
What is 7 squared?
7 squared 2.
No. 7 squared. What is that? What is 7 squared?
7 positive 2.
Right, but what is that? What does that equal?
7 times 7.
7 squared.
14.
No, 7 squared. 7 times 7. There you go. There's our final answer right there. Okay. What needs to change in the top for 18? What needs to change in top? Maddie, what do you think?
I can't see from here.
Well, then move up here. Here's your new seat. What do I need to switch here, Maddie?
The -5 on the X
Okay, so where does it need to go then?
below.
Okay, so I'm going to write x to the 5th.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, what about the 13? So that's done. What about the 13? Does it change?
No.
So it stays up top, right?
Yep.
Okay, what about y to the 0?
That cancels out.
Cancels out. Okay, what about 5 to the -3rd?
That needs to go on top.
Okay, guys, it needs to go on top, and when you do that, you're going to multiply that with the 13. Okay, we'll take care of that in a second. What about z to the -10? What do I do with that?
Also on top.
Also on top. Okay, now we need to figure out what's 13 times, what's 5 cubed, by the way?
25.
That's 5 squared, so times 5. What's 25 times 5?
125.
Okay, so we'll go 13 times 125. That's the number on top.
1625.
1625. I got z to the 10th over x to the 5th. That was a lot of work there. That was a lot of work.
Let's just do a couple for the others so we can get.
Guys, which ones do you want to see over here? Any of them? How about let's do 26 and 28? Okay, are these common bases here? What's this exponent right here, guys, if it's not written? Is it 0 or 1? It's 1. Don't think it's 0. Okay? What do I do with the exponents? Add them. Okay, what do you got? What's 1 plus -3? Or 4, excuse me. Okay, so it's -7 to the -3rd. What do I do with that? It's got to go where? It's got to go to the bottom. Got to hold the numerator with a 1. What's -7 to the 3rd power?
-342.
There's our answer. Guys, what do we got here? What do I do with my z's on top? Add them. What do you got, Mace?
Z10.
Z to the 10th, right? But I still have what on the bottom? Z to the 5th. What do I do if I'm dividing? What do I do with the exponents? Subtract them. Where do I have more z's at, top or bottom? Top. What is 10 minus 5? So z to the 5th is my final answer. That's done. That one's done. What do you guys, any other questions right now?
All right. We good with questions?
No questions, I don't think.
All right. Hey, get out those guide notes from yesterday. We need to finish those up. I want to give you some time in class to do the worksheet for homework. What? Was it here? All right, so we're on the back, right? Let me, even though, flip it over to the front just for a second. I want to hit this again just to make sure that you understand it. If you have a fraction to a power, that power applies to both the numerator and denominator. So like here's your rule. If you have a over b to the n, it equals a to the n over b to the n. So that means right here, that's x cubed over 5 cubed. Now, we do not want to leave a number to a power. We always want to take that or calculate it. So you like have your calculators out because a lot of multiplication here with numbers you're not going to know off the top of your head. So Zach, what's 5 to the third power? 125. So this would be x cubed over 125 for that. Now, for that first one here, even though you got it right in front of you, we're still going to just at least look at it. Damien, what does 4 over 7 squared become then?
4 to the second over 7 to the second.
Okay, good. 4 to the second over 7 to the second. What is 4 to the second power? 16. And what is 7 to the second power? 49. Boom. There's our answer. Got it. All right. What about this one here? You got it in front of you. That's okay. We still need to hit some things twice. Ellie, what do we do? What do you think?
You do the d to the fourth power.
What about the 3, though? Let's go all the way from the left to right. What about the 3?
3 to the fourth power.
Good. The power goes to the 3, and then what happens to d squared to the fourth power? That becomes what?
d8.
Because we multiply the 2 and the 4, and now what do we got on the bottom?
E to the fourth power, that's the fourth power.
Did we leave that as our final answer?
No,
What did we write as our final answer?
81 and then d8 over d4.
Okay, that would be correct. All right, let's. I'm not going to worry about that third one for time. Let's go ahead and flip it over on the back. Flip it over on the back. All right, now, don't write anything down yet. We've learned, because I'm going to erase this in a second. If I have x to the negative third, Jenna, how do I write that with a positive power?
1 over x to the third.
Good, that's 1 over x to the third. If I have 1 over y to the negative second, how do I write that with a positive power? Gavin. What's that going to be with a positive power? Do you know? Not sure? Okay. Mason? 1 over y to the negative second. How do I write that with a positive? What's that?
Move to the top.
Move it to the top. So it just becomes y squared. Move it to the top. Remember, if it's a negative exponent, we say it's not happy. It needs to move to the other side of the fraction bar. But all right, I got a negative here. If I use my last rule, which here's what I got to start out with. Let me see what you guys say. All right, don't write down anything yet. A over b to the negative n. If I use my last rule, I got to write this as a to the negative n over b to the negative n. Okay, that power goes to both of them. Well, they're both not happy because they have a negative exponent. How do I make it a positive exponent? Okay, you move it to the other side. So I'm going to move the b to the top and it becomes a positive. I move the a to the bottom, it becomes a positive. Since they are both to the same power, I can do this. So here is my shortcut. A over b to the negative n power is equivalent to b over a to the positive n power. That's what you need to have down. Okay, get that part down. So that is your shortcut. All you gotta do is flip the fraction, change the power. Okay, flip the fraction, change the power. Okay. Now, this is the reason why. I want to at least justify it. Okay, so Jeff didn't ask me why, and I explained it to him. Okay, so we got that. Now, what's there to the right? Whoops.
Sometimes we still need to write that out.
So we got
Oh, there you go.
a over b to the negative n equals b over a to the n power, which now becomes b to the n over a to the n. So we got that. So what's this look like here? X over 3 to the negative 4th. Is that the one right next to it? So that is going to become 3 over x to the positive 4th power, which becomes 3 to the 4th over x to the 4th. 3 to the 4th. Alex, let me know what that is. Use your calculator. That's why you got it. I'm not asking any of you to do this without it. You can always use your calculator. 81. So 81 over x to the 4th. Okay. Now we got a couple cases here. 3 over 4 to the negative third. Rylan, what do you think that's going to, first step?
3 to the power of -3 and then 4 to the power of -3.
That will work, but look what we just did. What did our rule just tell us to do? Is if I got a fraction to a negative power, what can I do on the inside? Switch it, and then what happens to the power? Why do I do that is because now I don't have a negative power, and negative powers usually cause issues. So I don't want them. So if I do that right away, I don't have a negative power. So let's use that rule. Now just use your calculator. What's 4 to the third? And what's 3 to the third? Okay. Juan, what do we get for 4 to the third? And what do I get for 3 to the third?
47.
There's my answer. Okay, there's my answer. So what I want to do, and now what Rylan said could get us there, but I'm telling you that will lead to more mistakes as opposed to this route. I'm trying to give you the quickest, easiest route with the fewest mistakes. Let's do what I just talked about. I got a negative power on the outside. I got a fraction on the inside. What can I do with the inside? All right, Ava, what can I do with the inside? Flip them. And when I flip them, what happens to the -2 on the outside, Ava? So now I have a positive power and everything flips. All right, now I got to use all my rules from yesterday and the day before. They don't go away. All my rules. Okay. All right, so if I'm doing those, all right, y cubed to that second power. Reese, what do you think that's going to be? Well, we call that a power to a power when they are next to each other. You don't add them, you actually multiply them. So it's going to be y to the 6. All right, what am I going to get in the bottom? Denominator. Just want to get the denominator. All right, Ellie.
4 and then x 4.
Good, that is correct. You are taking 2 to the second power. Now, here's the thing that throws people off with this one. A lot of times you say 2 times 2 is 4. That's luck in this case. It's really 2 to the second power. Okay, because if this would be a 3, you'd have to take 2 cubes. So just be careful there. That would be our final answer for B. All right, now C. They do a couple here with the negatives. Do that first step we talked about. Flip it. Make the outside positive. Do that now. Write it underneath there. Flip both insides and make that outside positive. And so I get 3 over 2 to the positive 2 power, and I get 2n over 6m to the positive 3 power. Okay, let's see what you get for 3 over 2 to the second power. What do you think that is? Ellie? Good, 9 over 4. 9 over 4 times. All right, 2n cubed over 6m. All right, everybody take a look at it. Make sure you're ready to at least give me an answer here. For the top. Daryl, what do you think I should get for the top?
8
N to the what power? The 3 also goes with the n, so it's going to be cubed. Has to do that. How about in the denominator? Okay. How do you think we get the denominator? I need to take 6 to what power?
2 to the third power.
Do that on your calculator. 6 to the third power.
216.
So that's 216. M goes to that power as well, so make sure it's m cubed. Oh, lordy, 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 what do I do from here? Okay, I'm not done. I can do a little bit more work. Okay. Lucas, any ideas what I still need to do? And how would I combine the two? Do I add, multiply, divide? I guess. What would I do? Any idea? Yeah. What am I multiplying specifically together? I need to multiply this 9. I need to multiply straight across because it's a fraction. I need to multiply 9 times 8, which is 72. And then you still have n to the third power. And now I got to take 4 times 2, 16. I tell them to cancel, but
Yeah, cancel out.
I don't know. They don't know
Reverse
all
cancel
that.
that. Yeah.
Zach?
864.
864. Now, use your calculators. Reduce that fraction. What does 72 over 864 reduce to? Like, you should know how to reduce on your calculator. 72 over 864. All right, it says, all right, Jeff got 112.
Yep.
You got 112? All right, so now that's 112, which means that really I get that 1 is on top. That becomes a 12m cubed. All right, that was a little bit involved there with those constants, but that would be the final answer. All right, last one on this page. Got some photons. I think we're a little Star Trek here. Yeah.
Photon torpedo.
Jellyfish emits. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about scientific notation here. 1.25 times 10 to the 8th particles of light or photons in 6.25 times 10 to the 4th second. How many photons does a jellyfish emit each second? Oh my goodness. All right, let me break it down easier. So what if I said it was 8 photons? Actually, let me make it. Don't write this down yet. If it was 16 photons in 2 seconds, how would you figure out how many per second? How many per second? If it was 16 every 2 seconds, you would divide it. We would do 16 divided by 2, which would be 8 per second, right? We got to do the same thing, but we don't have as nice of numbers, do it. So I got to take the number of photons, 1.25 times 10 to the 8, divided by 6.25 times 10 to the negative 4. Now write that down. Write that down, nice and neat. Now, here's how you do this. We do both parts individually. I do 1.25 divided by 6.25. I treat that as a separate times 10 to the 8th over 10 to the negative 4th. And I'm going to do those totally separate. So what is 1.25 divided by 6.25? Use your calculator. Type it right in. See what you get. Ellen. All right, she says 0.2. All right, use our exponent rules. I got 10 to the 8th over 10 to the negative 4th. Remember how you do that with your exponent rules. What do I do with those exponents? Since it's a division problem, do I add the exponents together? Do I subtract them, multiply them, divide them? Is that subtract? And when you subtract them, you do. And here's what you got to treat it as. You got to treat it as 8 minus whatever that bottom number is. What's 8 minus negative 4? Not 4. It's 12. So it becomes 10 to the 12. All right, now it says, write your answer in what form? In scientific notation. Scientific notation, we are really close. Can anybody tell me why that's not scientific notation? There's one itty bitty thing wrong right there with this answer, and it's not in scientific notation. Does anybody know why? Zach?
Because it's decimal.
It's a decimal. What does this have to be? It can be a decimal, but this number has to be between two numbers. It has to be between 1 and 10. And it's not bigger. Now, how do I make it between 1 and 10? All I got to do is move the decimal. Well, if I make this 0.2, I move it over 1, I make that 2. That's going to change my power. Does anybody know how it changes my power? If I make this number bigger, I got to make my power smaller. So now instead of 12, it becomes Since I only moved it one spot, I moved my power down one spot. So it becomes the 11th. Okay. Comes the 11th. Okay. You got that worksheet there. All right. Super important. This one, I want you to submit it online as well so I can look at your answers. We're going to be looking over your shoulder here for the next 10 minutes to see how you're doing and help you out. Work till the bell rings. Do not stop. Anything for number 1 through 8, make sure its final answer is a number. Don't leave anything to a power. Okay? Don't leave anything to a power.